in my wildest dreams, I think if you're not dreaming it, then you're probably not considering it. So yes, it was definitely in my wildest dreams. Um, yeah, I guess having the team announcement and making it official was a pretty big moment because it just solidified my spot. So, yeah.
For me, to be completely honest, I probably haven't dreamt about rowing specifically prior to this, just because the way I came about rowing. But I've definitely dreamt about just doing something, maybe whether it was going to the Olympics or playing a sport at the highest level or something like that. In comparison to some of the other people, I haven't been rowing very long. I mean, since I've started, it's kind of gotten more real, I guess. But when you're first starting, it's hard to imagine something like that right off the bat. Well, for me right now, especially, is I'd have to say my teammates. I mean, we're all supporting each other and we're all relying on each other. And I mean, if one person doesn't show up, which never happens, it's letting everyone down. And I think just that in the back of your mind just kind of pushes you to, give it that little extra little bit.
I'd say that maybe one of the top motivators for me is just knowing how hard my competitors are training, and I guess having trained with a couple of them over the years, I know that that's quite hard. So there's no wasting time. I think like if I'm gonna go out in the water, then I'm gonna make it worth my while. Like I don't want to throw away any practice at this point or at any point really.
I always like to put myself up against people who are much ahead of me, and I think just aiming for something that you're not at yet is definitely a lot of motivation for me. Just kind of aiming higher. World Cup, no doubt, was great, and it was kind of our first test of 2016, right? Because a lot of things can change. But the two teams weren't there, and this and that. But I think World Championships, the qualifications, for me, that was, it was step one. That was pretty big for me.
I'm gonna agree with Curtis there. I was sort of in the same position going into our first World Cup. Like not all of the top crews were there, but almost everyone was there at the qualification regatta, and that was just pretty big deal and pretty special for me. I think another momentous moment in my rowing career was just being given the opportunity to race the single. That was huge. Like the first World Cup that I was actually racing at a senior international level was that was I think the beginning for me.
I think in the moment, definitely it was a relief even, just because there's so much pressure. You've been working towards that specific race to then lead you further. But yeah, in the moment, it was definitely a relief. But after that, once you get home, and it's like that was step one, and after that, it's put your head down and just work for you know
It was for me when I made it through to the A final after the semi. For us, it was the top 9 qualify, so making the A final was sort of my ticket to qualify. And yeah, to be honest, like it didn't really. I think like the gravity of it didn't really hit me until I had gotten off the water. When when you're still in the boat, I mean, yeah, it's to that point the biggest race of your career, but it was still a race. So, um, I finished the race and I was like pretty tired. Had a hard time breathing for my cool. I think I got lapped like 4 times on my cool down, but I did my cool down, and everything was sort of normal. And then when I got off the water, that's when I guess like just talking to my coach, it was like, whoa, like I just did that. That just happened. So that was sort of the moment for me. Well, I've heard the Olympics is a pretty cool party. So, and in all seriousness, um, world championship parties or just like even international, um, I'm going to say quote unquote parties, but they're when you have so many different countries represented in, one restaurant or one bar room, it is so cool. Like I can't describe how fun it is. It's just because, you hear all of these like terrible stories on the news, and then for that one moment in time, you've got 30 countries all being friendly with each other and civil and, having a good time. So I'm pretty excited to just um, enjoy that.
Pretty excited to see how Team Canada as a whole kind of comes together. How all the sports, just seeing everyone in like in the meal halls and in the buildings and stuff like that, kind of away from competition setting and just seeing how we as a country kind of represent on the big stage.
That's a mature answer there.
Yeah.
You can take that one.
Take that one. Perfect. Um, you both started rowing in university, and you got to pretty elite levels throughout your university careers. How were you able to manage your academics and your elite athletics? And has that helped better prepare you for the international stage and the national team and kind of prioritizing things?
Uh, Definitely in terms of prioritizing things. It's not easy with school. Thankfully, we get some help just with organizing and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, there's always something that gets either sacrificed or, um, like you can kind of picture a triangle and you have training, school, and the social life, and you can kind of pick two of them at once, anyways. And something gets left out for sure.
I would say the biggest thing for me was just time management. And as long as I was conscious of the time I had, I was able to, with the help of, with a lot of help from my profs, um, manage. So I guess one thing that's sort of carried over is the time management and then just prioritizing what needs to be done. So when I'm training, I'm training now, and then when I'm off, um, I'm just totally off. Which that was a little bit weird coming to the training center because when you have a bit of downtime at school, then it's always spent doing assignments or doing some work or having meetings. And um, for the first year after coming here to the training center, it's like, oh, I should be doing something. Like, but um, in a way, I was. So it was just realizing that, and then realizing that being an athlete was now 100% of the job. It's awesome. I just love it. It's like I'm living the life. It's I wake up and I have one goal for the day, and that's to make sure I'm fast in a rowing boat. So if that means um, doing more kilometers, then I'll do more kilometers. Or if it means taking a little bit more time off, then I'll take some time off or going into physio. But it's just being so singularly focused is, I just love it.
I think it's definitely a good introductory, because you kind of have all levels of rowing that you'll witness. You have the club people, then you get into the university season, and then the university season you have people also who are just starting out through other national team members, and you kind of get a taste for everything, which is good.
I think for me personally, it was so crucial that I stay in school and finish my degree before moving to the training center. Just because it sort of gave me the chance to develop slowly and develop a love for rowing. I I've seen a couple of cases where people just hurry that first stage too quickly and they end up burning out. And I think Laurentian gave me the opportunity to just learn how to have fun while rowing. So, and I think that's important now because sometimes it's not fun. Sometimes it's a job, but um, it's good that I have those memories because it's always something I can go back to.
I definitely agree with that, but that's definitely something that I'm still learning. Um, is to just kind of take a step back sometimes and just really enjoy it, and just look around, and 7 a.m. There's the sun's coming up. You're on a mirror lake, just things like that. Just not being so. Um, I mean, performance. Yeah, wrapped up in it. Performance is our job, but you definitely have to take a step back sometimes and just kind of look at your surroundings. It's been pretty overwhelming, the amount of support. When I first moved out to Victoria, BC, to the training center, this was before I had gotten any karting money, which is essentially the Sport Canada's funding system. And I did a GoFundMe page, and just the amount of support that I received on that was completely overwhelming. I did not expect the amounts and the messages and that kind of stuff that I got.
It's important to realize that there's lots of different kinds of support. So some people support by giving you money, and others support you by listening to your sob story every day. And then others, just opening their homes to you. So, and like, I can say, I mean, I can't speak for Curtis, but I've had so much of that. Just like, I'm always sort of taken care of when it comes to financial support. I've been lucky enough to get a few sponsors over the years, but also just we do a lot of traveling, and I guess me personally, I go places on my own because I'm in the single, and it's like Curtis said, just been pretty overwhelming at how open people are to inviting me in and accepting me and making sure I'm looked after. And then finally, just the emotional support. Like, if I think that's the most important for me. If as long as um, you're happy and you're enjoying what you're doing, then the money will come. So I have to those people are always first and foremost in my mind, and then everything else is a close second. I mean, like, we hear you. It's awesome. It's unbelievable how much back to the support we get from Sudbury and Laurentian. It's just crazy. Like, I see what we have, and then sometimes just compare to what some of my teammates have, and it could just be a small community thing, but Laurentian is definitely top of the charts for me. So
Yeah, one thing that I think is really important not to forget is just everyone that we cross paths with, whether it's teammates, coaches, profs, anyone, we wouldn't be where we are without that, just because that's what, even in not a direct support, it's what essentially got us here, the experiences and stuff like that.